Imagine a quiet convent in rural Iowa, 1928. Imagine a quiet convent in rural Iowa, 1928. A place of prayer and peace. But for 23 harrowing days, its walls would contain something else entirely. Something from hell itself. This is the true story of the exorcism of Anna Ecklund, one of the most terrifying and well-documented cases of demonic possession in American history. A story so chilling, it continues to haunt us nearly a century later. Our story begins not with a demon, but with a young girl named Emma Schmidt, born around 1882. For privacy, the church would later give her the pseudonym Anna Ecklund. Her early life in Wisconsin was anything but ordinary. At just 14, Emma's world began to unravel. She was plagued by violent mood swings and a sudden, vulgar vocabulary that shocked everyone around her. Most disturbingly, she developed an intense, almost physical revulsion to religious symbols. Crosses, holy water, even the mere mention of God's name, would send her into a rage. She claimed unseen forces were tormenting her, and there was a dark shadow in her own family that seemed to confirm her fears. Her own father and an aunt, known as Mina, were whispered to be practitioners of dark arts. They despised Emma's devout Catholicism, and according to Emma, they placed a curse on her, inviting evil into her life. They allegedly tainted her food with cursed herbs, a gateway for the horrors that were to come. What started as teenage turmoil was spiraling into a spiritual nightmare. Through her 20s, Emma's condition deteriorated dramatically. She was tormented by voices that whispered vile things in her head. She displayed inexplicable, superhuman strength, easily overpowering grown men who tried to restrain her. The very thought of entering a church became impossible. An invisible barrier seemed to throw her back from the threshold. There were even terrifying reports from her family that she would levitate, her body hovering unnaturally above her bed as she slept. Local priests who tried to help were convinced this was no ordinary illness. They believed Emma was not just troubled, but possessed. And not by one entity, but by many. The early attempts to help her failed, and the darkness only seemed to tighten its grip. It became clear that this was a battle beyond the capabilities of a small parish. They needed a specialist, an exorcist. By 1928, after years of suffering, a desperate plea was answered. A Capuchin monk named Father Theophilus Riesinger, a veteran of spiritual warfare, agreed to take the case. He knew this would be no simple ritual. He required a secluded, secure location, far from the public eye, where the battle could be waged without interruption. The Franciscan Sisters Convent in the tiny, isolated town of Earling, Iowa, was chosen. On August 18, 1928, a now 46-year-old Anna Ecklund was brought to the convent. She had no idea she was about to endure a 23-day-long descent into hell. The moment the exorcism began, the convent transformed into a war zone. The phenomena that Father Riesinger and the attending nuns witnessed were beyond anything they could have imagined. Anna's body contorted into impossible shapes, her limbs twisting at unnatural angles. Horrific guttural growls and inhuman shrieks echoed through the halls, sometimes in languages Anna had never learned. Multiple voices would speak from her throat, some deep and masculine, others high-pitched and mocking, identifying themselves as named demons, including Beelzebub, Judas Iscariot, and even her own father and Aunt Mina, who they claimed were now in hell and speaking through her. She levitated off the iron bed she was strapped to, her body rigid and floating in midair, defying gravity. When sprinkled with holy water, her skin would hiss and blister as if touched by acid. She vomited copious amounts of foul-smelling liquids and strange debris, including what appeared to be whole tobacco leaves, despite having had no access to such things. The room itself grew unnaturally cold, and a putrid stench, the classic sign of demonic presence, filled the air, sickening the brave nuns who assisted Father Riesinger. For 23 days they prayed, they commanded, and they fought. Finally, on December 23, 1928, the ordeal reached its climax. The possessed Anna had been taunting Father Riesinger, claiming he could never cast them out. Exhausted but resolute, the priest raised his crucifix one last time. With all the authority of his office, he pronounced the final command of the rite of exorcism. "Depart, ye spirits of hell! Be gone, Satan!" Witnesses reported a final deafening shriek that seemed to tear through the very fabric of the room. Anna's body went limp, collapsing onto the bed as if all the strings holding her up had been cut. A profound silence fell over the convent. The foul odor vanished. The oppressive cold lifted. After 23 days of relentless torment, Anna Ecklund was finally free. She woke up weak and disoriented, but for the first time in decades, she was calm. She was herself. The events in Erling were not just a whispered horror story, they were meticulously documented. Father Riesinger kept detailed notes throughout the entire ordeal. These notes were later given to another priest, Father Karl Vogel, who compiled them into a booklet published in 1935 titled, in no uncertain terms, Begone Satan. The book was a sensation, becoming a bestseller in the United States and serving as a stark, instructional account of the reality of spiritual warfare. It remains one of the most detailed and officially recognized, though not formally canonized, records of an exorcism in the Church's modern history. The Erling case became, and still is, a foundational text used in training new generations of exorcists. After her liberation, Anna Ecklund, or Emma Schmidt, returned to a life of quiet obscurity. She was reportedly free from the primary possession, though some accounts suggest she continued to experience minor paranormal disturbances, like echoes of the trauma she endured. The details of her later life are scarce. Conflicting records place her death in either 1941 or as late as 1964. She lived out her days in peace, a survivor of an unimaginable war fought for her very soul. While the Catholic Church never issued a formal decree of sainthood or canonized the event, it has consistently acknowledged the Erling case as an authentic exorcism, a genuine and terrifying encounter with the demonic. Of course, a story this extraordinary invites skepticism. In the decades since, psychologists and medical experts have offered alternative explanations. They suggest Anna may have suffered from a combination of severe mental illnesses, such as hysteria, epilepsy, or what we might now call dissociative identity disorder, all amplified by intense religious fervor and psychological suggestion. The trauma from her alleged abuse could have easily manifested in such extreme ways. Critics rightly point out that our only sources are the accounts from the priests and nuns involved. There are no surviving photographs, no audio recordings, and no independent secular eyewitness testimonies to corroborate the supernatural claims. Was it a true case of demonic possession, or a tragic episode of mass hysteria and misdiagnosed mental illness in a deeply religious community? We may never know for certain. But whether you believe in demons or in the complexities of the human mind, the story of Anna Ecklund is a chilling reminder of the darkness that can exist, both in the world and within ourselves. It forces us to confront questions about faith, evil, and the terrifying fragility of the human spirit. The events at that small Iowa convent in 1928 have left an indelible mark, a true story of horror that continues to challenge and frighten us to this day. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more dives into the world's most mysterious and chilling true stories. Let me know in the comments what you believe happened to Anna Ecklund. Until next time, stay curious.